Hello. As you can probably tell, this video is a bit heavy. Uh, I want to clear up a couple of things before I start talking. I just today got on some new medicine, uh, which will well, it's not necessarily new. It's just whenever I miss it or don't get it refilled and get back onto it, I get pretty overwhelmed. But I'm in a better situation right now, where it is happening. I am taking them at a time that now better suits me. But with that being said, I figured now that it helps me focus, although I am struggling today because I'm just getting back on them, I can talk about a topic that's kind of been on my mind recently. It's death, as you saw from the title. So as a kid, I was homeschooled, and because of certain situations, a unique situation, I'm not mad at my parents. They did what they could. I didn't socialize a lot. My mom was very sick, and my dad had to work a very tough schedule to provide for us. But with that being said, sorry, I'm, like I said, having a hard time. How do I phrase this? I didn't socialize a lot. I mean, who does, right? Everyone's got problems, but I mean, I could count on two hands the amount of times that I actually went out and socialized with kids my age. So that was tough. And I learned ways to cope with it. So my siblings, we just were like, oh, being normal is overrated. And I then got a job and started socializing. And all of this was to lead up to the fact that I have not come to terms with what death is. The original idea that we're all going to die. And it's hard to think about that, We're 20 years old. Sorry if my game glitches a bit. I think it's trying to load something big in. But, it's never sat with me, I'm 20 years old. I haven't experienced that much. I haven't done a whole lot, I'm very let me change this because I'm just gonna be walking around and talking. I'm very new to this idea, and it's recently been weighing on me some. What death is. And I know I'm jumping around a lot. Again, I'm sorry, it's my medicine. I'll probably do better later, I've gotten used to this, but as most people do, I struggle with depression. And I've never gone to a therapist. I'm going to be very soon. It's tough. I grew up just like it's not even me thinking you don't show your emotions. It was just, you know, I lived in a very, how do I put this? I think the best way would be autistic household. My parents weren't, you know, they had problems of their own. And they were hurt. And they were told that they can't show emotions. So they found each other, but I won't say that they were too broken, but what I will say is they didn't really know how to show us certain topics, you know? Like, they didn't socialize, so I didn't learn to socialize. Emotional intelligence wasn't a strong suit. I was very volatile as a child. And even these days, I still have problems with anger management. And it's really taken a negative effect on my life. But, you know, life hasn't been great. You know, I moved out recently. It hasn't even been a year. And I've learned so much about myself. When you think, oh, I'm gonna learn so much about myself, you hear that with a positive force. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna learn so much about myself. But then it happens, and you're scared shitless. Because I learned some stuff that I did not like. And on top of that, you know, going back to death, I lost my grandpa this year, and that kind of brought some new light to how I allocate my time, and how I spend it. And there's relationships that I want to repair, but, you know, I'm just learning how to create relationships, let alone how to repair them, and let alone repair them with people that don't know how to repair them. So I don't know how to do the full legwork. I'm trying to find respect and boundaries for myself while also trying to reach out and help others. And it's a hard balance, because I want them in my life, but it's rather difficult when they don't want you in theirs, in the way that you need to be there. They expect a past version of myself that doesn't exist. A version where I didn't care as much. And I kind of wish I still had that, but that's for another video. They expect something that I just can't give. And I'm also fighting with the demons of, am I wasting my life? You know, I'm going to die. So what should I spend my time on? And then I focus so much on time that I can't enjoy the basics of life. I'm struggling with so many demons these days that I don't quite know how to which one to fight, you know, because it feels like they're all coming after me. So I have to be really smart with my moves, you know. With the idea of death, with no fundamental relationships, absolutely no dating skills, religious self-arguments, and coming to terms with some things about that, trying to better myself, trying to figure out what I want from life, trying to be okay with the fact that I don't have it all together, and knowing one day I'm going to die. Whatever's up there, whatever might be up there, you know, God or just infinity, non-existence. I'm struggling hard. Don't quite know how to be okay with this, you know? Am I supposed to be okay with this? Am I supposed to be okay with the idea that one day I'll die? Or should I stop thinking and just let what happened happen? Am I trying to overstimulate myself with the idea of happiness to the point where I can't enjoy the little moments? And with that, I've got so many demons that I'm fighting. I can't really force myself to stop using escapism, because I don't know how to process my emotions, and I don't know if I mentally could withstand going through all that or not, you know? One day I will not exist. Someday I will pass. So what should I aim for? I've got so many passions and ideas, so many things I want, but it never seems like I have the energy for it. I get so drained. It's an endless cycle. I get so drained from not having anything to lean on or go towards, that I don't have the energy to go towards anything. Like nothing. Ground zero. Absolutely nothing. Is that what life's supposed to be? Is life just an end-all be-all? Was I just created to die? Or is there a higher power that intended me to have faith? You know, I don't know. I'm scared of death. It's unknown to me. I have no idea what it's meant to be. You know, I don't know if I'm supposed to chase the darkness or run away. You know? Am I going to pass away with nothing to my name, or will I find purpose in the meaninglessness of life? Live a fulfilling life, be happy eventually. I should be happy now. I've achieved so many things I set out for myself, and I know I should be happy. And to an extent I am. I am satisfied and content with the progress I have made thus far, but I am not happy. And that's what scares me. You know, if God exists, you know, the rapture is a big thing that could happen at any point. So, did I spend my life, you know, well, if the rapture exists, I don't think I've done well as a Christian. So, will I be sent to hell? Is that my fate for eternity? Or if I chase that, if I chase trying to be, you know, if a God exists, I want to be there. I want to be the best I could, not for the sake of heaven, but because he made me. But the problem is, I fell. If I believe in a God and then die and he doesn't exist, then, you know, it won't be a problem for me when I die, but I had wasted my life serving something that didn't exist. And there's so many things. I want to be good at something. I want to be able to put all my time and effort into one thing. I know that sounds bad, and it probably isn't healthy, but I want something that I'm good at, that I enjoy. I don't even have to be good at it, but the idea of doing my best with something, making it as clean and as close to perfection as possible, that's the feeling I love chasing. There's no specific topic that I enjoy. I love creating things and making them as well packaged as possible. But when I don't, I'm afraid. I'm afraid that I could never get it right. So I just stop. And, you know, one thing that's stayed constant for the last couple of years is recording videos of just things that are on my mind. I've posted them across a couple of channels, but, you know, I'll post them as I please, and then I'll go months without thinking anything drastically important, trying to work through, but whenever I make these videos, they help me process stuff. And I know I should talk to other people, but it's the silence. It's knowing that someone's out there listening, and they're not wanting to intrude with, oh, you should do this, a solution. It's so calming, being able to just talk. I'll just learn things casually about myself. It's not me not knowing where to go. It's me being able to process the things. Because I, for some reason, just can't focus enough to... I get into like a focus mode while I'm making videos, where I can focus about a topic and speak about it and feel like it feels like this is reaching people, and the people who care about this stuff will watch it, and that makes everything worth it. All of this. Because it's the people who want to listen that listen, instead of me forcing someone else to listen and them not being interested. I want people to genuinely care about what I'm saying. And whether anyone watched it or not doesn't really matter. It's the idea that someone's watching. It's the idea that this might help someone, or, someone might have a certain idea on things, It's me being able to clear my head. You can comment whatever you want to help me get through things. It's just, for the time being, while I'm recording this, I can say the things I want without being interrupted. I won't be I won't be interrupted by anyone. And with that, I can find peace. And you know, I'm tired. I finished working today, and I got home and I'm exhausted. I need to go to the store to get my caffeine addiction fueled, and new medicine, so I'm overstimulated as fuck. But you know, this is helping me process stuff. And sorry for that little rant. It's just the idea of death. I don't think will click with me. Just we exist now. Whatever we may do, good, bad, whatever. It's just a matter of time before we die. And that scares me. Nothing more to do. Nothing more to see, no mistakes to fix. A closing of a chapter. A completion of a story. No rewrites. No second chances. Benito. I'm scared of commitment. Committing to basically anything scares the absolute shit out of me. I don't quite know why. But, you know, it kinda is what it is, you know. I don't know why it scares me. It doesn't make sense. I feel like it's the idea that I won't get it perfect the first time. And I don't like not being able to get it right the first time. You know. I want to be able to experience the best immediately. I only dedicate myself to stuff that I feel like is required of me. You know? It scares me. I'm 20 years old and, you know, I don't have a high school diploma. I don't have any real skills I've developed. I've got no projects that I have put any time or effort towards. I've got nothing really going for me. I barely have a personality. I've only been out in the world for a few years. What 20-year-olds are like today will probably be me in my 30s. I'll be behind. And yet somehow I always meet and make friends with the people above my age. 25, 30. You know, it's just, I don't know. I'm going to die someday. I've got... How do you get out again? This doesn't seem right. I felt like space was how you got out. Because we're stuck in the boat. You know, oh, that. Rift, okay. It's scary, you know. I've, I haven't gone anywhere. I have so much on my list, so many places I want to visit, so many places I want to, you know, go to and experience things. I want to date. I want to feel romance. I want to be thrilled. I want to go out and see the world. I want to go out and meet people, and I want to just want to enjoy life. But money and time and effort, you know, just to survive in this world, it already takes everything. But you're supposed to also thrive. I make it seem like money in my life, I make it seem like money is the only reason why I haven't developed personality, or the only reason why I haven't gone out and had a good life, or the only reason why I'm depressed, you know. But it isn't. You know, you could always use more money. You know, I've got a decent amount. I'm gonna be getting a roommate soon, so maybe. I change my mind every day. But you know, it's kind of me, you know. And I'm not trying to say I'm a problem necessarily, but some days it definitely feels like it. The effort it feels like it takes to just move, to keep living, to hope for something better in the future, instead of having something good now. It's tough. And days have been tough lately. I haven't been doing so well mentally. You know, I was on a good streak, and then you just keep learning stuff. You do stuff, and it just doesn't work. And you thought that was it, that was the answer, and then it turns out it wasn't. You know, for a while I thought masculinity was it. You know, that toxic masculinity, like Andrew Tate style. That was my first move into going out into the world. But that obviously that didn't work. I didn't feel any better after being a little bit sexist and watching people watch me at the gym, or trying to get people's attentions by doing dumb shit, you know. Surprisingly, that didn't make me feel better. That just made me feel worse. And then a couple other things, you know. I'm an entrepreneur, you know. I wanted to be a YouTuber for the longest time. Of course, the feeling still remains. I think it would be cool to be financially free, but in reality, it's not gonna fix my problems. I might say this or that, you know. Sure, it'd be cool, but it's not gonna fix the real problems. Nothing is, except time. And unfortunately, we're all running out of that. Nothing lasts forever. But fuck, if sadness doesn't seem like it does. I feel little moments of joy, of course. You know, I'll go out, hang out with friends. That just feels like a distraction, you know, from solving the real issue at hand. Of course, that scares me. Uh, and like, I'll play some of my favorite games that stimulate my ADHD. Beat Saber, and like stuff that emotionally quells the pains of loneliness and emptiness of any unique personality. VR chat. I didn't get into it bad, but I had some great moments there with some of my closest friends. I just wish I could go back to those moments, because we've kind of drifted apart, or at least we drifted from the game. Those moments were my favorite, but it feels like I can't have them anymore. They're gone. And I'm scared to be open with people about who I am, what I've done, because I'm afraid that they'll see that I'm still weird. I still get too excited, and I'll rant about things. I won't think twice about it, you know? And, you know, that's part of my problem, obviously, but, whoops, that's a fear that I can't seem to escape. There's so many things that I've yet to change, yet to do. I'm scared, you know, obviously. Life is a big, scary monster. I'm getting tired now. I work third shift. It's like 11 a.m. I usually get off at like 7. So I'm tired. But you know, I'm learning quite a bit about myself. I just hope my computer has enough storage for all this. You know, it's quite a sad life, you know. Not necessarily mine, just life in general. It never seems to get easier. I'll have good times once in a while, but it seems like the bad sticks around way too long. You know? Sorry, got a bit distracted. But, oh, get in the water. Say that right. Can't quite remember what I was talking about. But, oh yeah, life never seems to get easier. But whenever I think about, whenever I get really lonely, and I try to think about the most perfect thing I could ever want right now. I usually just think about you know, I usually think about this giant, you know, kind of cyberpunkish house with throw pillows, blankets, candles, soft lighting, beautiful scents. And I think about just laying there with the love of my life. And then I come back to reality, and I find that it was just all a daydream. And you know, I want it. I want to chase after it, but it never seems to work out in my favor. Anything. If I could just get grounded in something, I'd be fine. I'd try to make it a job, or at least try and enjoy it. You know, I feel like if I can achieve one thing, then I can achieve it all. If I can learn how to achieve and what I really want, I'd be fine. But, you know, realistically, I don't know. Life just never ceases. You always open up into a more complex and extraordinarily painful kaleidoscope. You know, nothing ever seems to remain the same. And it just continuously gets worse. I get stronger, but life also gets worse. It's like battling a level 1 boss at level 1, and then battling a level 50 boss at level 50. It got worse, obviously. You got better, but it also got just as worse. Seems like I never gain a heading for me to be able to just enjoy life, but you know, I'll learn to be okay with this, and then that'll pop up, and oh, I've never experienced that, so now I gotta figure out what this is, and how do I as a human respond to this, and how do I personally respond to this? Is this good? Is this bad? What can I do with this information? And usually it's bad, and usually it's not much, because I don't have the energy to. I don't even know how to solve most of my, emotional issues. Do I just sit there for hours being like a monk and just doing whatever? Just thinking about my life and where it all went wrong and how I'm overcomplicating this? Or do I just go out and do? You know? I don't know. It doesn't seem to get easier. If anything, it just gets way, way, way more difficult. What is this? Yeah, F1. There we go. I think that'll be my thumbnail. Oh, wait. Can I take a screenshot? How do I take a screenshot again? Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Screenshot. Good. You know, it just gets old. And it never quite seems to get easier. What a fitting end. If anyone watched this, just thank you. I'm not quite myself today, and I was just rambling. I can't quite remember anything that I said. So just, thank you for watching.